This video is my first, so any and all mistakes, I do apologize in advance. This is my first one with me shooting this from an iPhone and editing it through software on my iPhone. So if you had any comments or suggestions down below, please voice your opinions and maybe give me some suggestions on things to cover in any Korean history whatsoever. Without any further ado, 갑시다. 전투가 바야흐로 급하니 내 죽음을 말하지 마라. 이 Sun-Shin. Yi Sun-Shin was born on April 28, 1545 to Yijeon and Lady Byun in Inhyeondong, Jonggu, Hansong, modern-day Seoul. He was born to a Yongbon class family where his father, Yideungbyeong, surprisingly was not a part of politics because of his own father, Yideungbyeong, being part of the Third Literati Purge of 1519, where Neo-Confucian Gwageo was assassinated, thus forcing Yideungbyeong into retirement and further distancing his son from politics. He didn't want any of that. But Yi Sun-Shin continued the tradition of all Yongbon boys to study the Chinese classics and get a good education in the meantime. In his off time, he would play military games with boys in his neighborhood, primarily taking leadership roles, showing his excellent leadership strategies and military prowess even before he started taking the military entrance exams. He would then attend a military academy in his early 20s. Later on, in 1572, he would take the Gwageo National Military Exam. With his archery skills that he picked up as an early teenager, he surprised a lot of his graders during the archery portion. However, there was one small problem. He fell off of his horse and ended up breaking his leg. However, in 1576, at the age of 32, he would try again and ultimately pass, being one of the oldest junior officers in the Joseon Army at the time, and then being assigned to the Northern Frontier Army to battle the Jurchens that mainly invaded northern cities and neighborhoods along the northern border of Joseon. It wouldn't be until 1583 that he would battle the armies of Jurchen chief Mu Pai Nai, which would lead to Mu Pai Nai's capture, and Yi Sun-Shin executed the guy. Yi Sun-Shin at this time was showing his skills, a lot of skills. It got to the point where his leadership was so jealous of him being so good at his job that a man, or should I say general, Yi-Il, got together with a couple of his friends to plot on Yi Sun-Shin's downfall.
Boo! You suck!
Now, during this time, though, Yi Sun-Shin's father, Yideungbyeong, would pass away, and records state that Yi Sun-Shin took a 3-year break. This is where I think Yi-Il had the idea to tell his superiors that Yi Sun-Shin was guilty of desertion. Upon hearing this, Yi Sun-Shin was arrested, stripped of his rank, and tortured and sent to prison for some time. It wouldn't be until later that Yi Sun-Shin would be released from prison, and at that point you're already beaten and tortured. I wouldn't want to go back, but I'm not Yi Sun-Shin. And you know what he did? You know what this guy did? He re-enlisted in the Joseon Army as a foot soldier.
What?
Yideungbyeong. Private. Basically infantry. He advanced in rank yet again and ended up taking the Hunryeonwon in Hansong, which is basically the capital city's military training academy. And by 1590, he was made commander of the Jeolla Gwageo, basically a commander of the left Jeolla naval province. Let's take into consideration here that in 1590 alone, he was promoted not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times, with the Jeolla Gwageo position being the culminating factor in 1590. And this didn't happen throughout the entire year. This happened in a succession of months. Like, he went from training at the Hunryeonwon to taking over the left Jeolla Naval District by 1590. Joseon had two problems that it could not ignore. To the north, you had Narasi, a tribe chief that decided to amass his power in the Manchu regions, and to the southeast you had Toyotomi Hideyoshi, who has just taken over Japan, uniting it all under his rule, with his eyes on Ming. And in order to get to Ming, you had to go through a peninsula, and in that peninsula was Joseon.